Today, Turkish President Recep Erdogan held an elaborate reception for university deans at his presidential palace. It was a show of support for Turkish educators in the aftermath of the summer's attempted coup. Erdogan blamed the coup on an exiled cleric, Fethullah Gulen, who denies any involvement. In the days that followed the uprising, those with suspected links to Gulen's network were rounded up in unprecedented numbers, including sweeping arrests and suspensions across the education sector. Professors like Maya Arakon fled the country. Maya ended up at her boyfriend's house in the United States, and she's still not sure if she'll ever be able to go home. Isabel Young traveled to Georgia to hear her story.
Where were you on the night of the coup?
Outside, on the street. Didn't believe that it was a coup. And when we finally could make it home, I was trembling. And the nights which followed the coup were even worse because people were outside shouting, Allahu Akbar, attacking people. I felt like, oh my God, this is not Turkey, which I was born and grew up.
Why did you have to leave the country in a rush?
Because I knew that the purge would, eventually touch me too. İyi akşamlar. Because I had my own television program, a political analysis program, and one of my program partners was arrested just right after the coup, and the other one was taken into custody. But I knew that little by little they would come up, come to us.
Maya's university had links to the controversial Gulen movement. It was shut down by the government along with 14 other universities just days after the coup. The biggest suspect behind the coup is the Gulen movement, and you're working or were working for a Gulen-associated university. Mm-hmm. Was it really a surprise to you that the university was shut down and that it was targeted?
Yes, because our colleagues, some of them, were really members of the Gülen movement. And we said, okay, we don't have to do anything with Gülen movement, so they're not going to fire us. But it was unimaginable to just think that they would just close the universities.
I mean, you say that you're not connected to the Gülen movement at all, but why are you working there?
Because I didn't find any job anywhere else. That's a very easy response. I'm an expert on the conflict resolution and peaceful settlement, and I'm an expert on the international terrorist organizations. So these are very delicate questions to work on, especially when you live in Turkey. I'm an expert on the Kurdish question.
Right.
So nobody dared to hire me.
Maya and around 2,000 other academics signed a petition earlier this year questioning Erdogan's actions towards Turkey's Kurdish population.
He was so mad with us, mad at us because he thought, how dare, who are you, just to raise your voice against me.
Mm-hmm. There's been some analysis which has compared this purge to the McCarthy witch hunt in America.
Yeah, this is definitely a witch hunt. They're going to continue until the last opposition voice will be destroyed.
Despite all this, Erdogan's popularity remains at an all-time high, and many within Turkey support the suspensions.
What we have suffered and what we have experienced, I think the government's actions are understandable.
Bekir Gur works for a state university in Ankara and is a former advisor to Turkey's Ministry of Education. Is this the end of the purge, or are we yet to see more to come?
I think we will see more, but the scale is decreasing because
you're running out of people to purge.
No. I mean, I think now there is another list coming.
Why is it that you support Erdogan?
Because I believe in democracy. I mean, Erdogan is our elected president. Erdogan has reformed our judicial system, has reformed our education system. In the last decade, in all measures, we have improved our situation, and that's thanks to the leadership of Erdogan.
But as a result of the purge, some 60,000 students have been displaced from their programs.
Hi.
Including Maya's student, Ergun Kaynak.
Nice to meet you too.
What's the vibe like there in Istanbul at the moment?
artık sıkılmış, yorgun. Çünkü hem ailevi durumlarını etkiliyor hem gelecek kariyerlerini etkiliyor. Çünkü damgalanmak, etiketlenmek burada artık sıradanlaşan bir durum. Mezun olanlar var bizden önce. Onların endişesi var.
Do you feel like they're using this purge in order to rewrite history and to rewrite the education system?
Definitely, they're using this purge in order to rewrite everything.
Who do you think is winning out of this purge on education and academia specifically?
I don't know who's winning, but I know who's losing. Turkey's youth is losing. Turkey's future generations are losing. But I can't see clearly through it who's winning. Definitely not us.